Good evening. Call to order the Grandview Heights Planning Commission meeting for Wednesday, October 20th. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Wendell?
Here.
Commissioner Kaskowski? Here. Commissioner Warp?
Here.
Commissioner Holler?
Here.
Chairman Gentry?
Here.
Mayor Kearns? Here. Councilman Panzera is excused. Director Bushane?
Here.
Director Kelker?
Here.
Thanks, Megan. Any additions or corrections to the minutes from the September 15th meeting?
Move approval. Second.
All in favor say aye. Those not in favor say nay.
Aye.
All right. So for anyone wishing to speak in front of the commission tonight, please stand and raise your right hand.
Okay.
I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
So we'll move forward. PC case number 8-2021, 907-909 Thomas Road. Leo Winkler is the applicant.
Okay. And I guess I'm supposed to state my name. My name is Leah Winkler. I do live and own 909 and 907 Thomas Road. I'm here with my husband, David Mustine. And thank you guys, by the way. We really appreciate your public service and being here and allowing us to present this. We are presenting a conditional use request for conditional use authorization for short-term rentals for 909. And it's a side-by-side. I think you guys have seen pictures. This is it. And then in addition, we're requesting a parking variance that is pretty minor, but we want to make sure that we're in compliance with the parking needs. And I'm hoping that someone else can explain the calculations to get us there, but it sounds like it's not going to take too much work. Anyway, I know Jamie from a long time ago, but my husband and I were married recently. I happen to work for the state of Ohio, and we both do economic development work. That's how we know all these people. But we recently reconnected. We're both widows, and reconnected about 2 years ago. Came up with a little bit of a new life plan. Decided to purchase a home, get married and purchase a home. Grandview seemed like the perfect spot for us to get ready for a retirement strategy that includes income coming from one half of a side-by-side. And that's why obviously Grandview is such a wonderful place. The icing on the cake was actually when we started looking, we heard that we found out that Grandview had actually changed their ordinance and actually increased the standards if you were wanting to do an Airbnb. And believe it or not, we're probably the only people in the world that embrace that. And we feel like that's really good for our business. We love high standards. We think it really helps our business model, which is one Airbnb here, but and again, it's perfect because we will live in the other side. So we are looking for the short-term rental variance, and that's honestly about all I have to say. Does anyone have any questions about our request, or can we provide additional information?
Thank you. Just hang on right there. We may get to that. We want to hear from the staff and get their feedback first.
Should I go sit down?
You can
Okay,
say that.
okay. Maybe.
Sure. Leah and Dave came before us we wanted to do 909 as the short-term rental. And one of the things we discovered is that they want to do 4 parking spaces in the back, and then under the assumption from them that we're going to do it on hard surface, impervious, either concrete or asphalt, which for the city is a good thing. They do need a variance because of the lot size for the lot coverage. They are going to remove the 8x10 shed that you saw in the photos, so they'll take that out. So that helps with some of the lot coverage. In the future, if they want to put a shed back, they'll come back through our process and get a permit for that. As far as the staff recommendation, we do recommend that you grant the variance for the lot coverage. And then for the short-term rental, we do recommend that, and the conditions would be that they would install the proper parking area in the rear of the property, and then obtain a building department inspection for the confirmation of the various items for the short-term rental.
Okay, thanks for that.
Okay?
Francis, any
Yeah,
questions or comments?
as for number A, or the letter A, I would have an issue approving the short-term rental. I do have a comment about the, you're not gonna cover it, right? It's just a pad.
Correct.
Could that pad, does it have to be concrete? Could we do a crushed aggregate, so that way we don't need the variance? Or maybe in between stalls, you can do a little bit of a grass, kind of accommodate so we don't need the variance. If you can expand on that, like why does it have to be concrete or asphalt? Why can't we not do even paving or pavers that are, over sand?
Porous, yeah.
Yeah. Even if they're not porous, I believe
Okay.
if they're just pavers over sand, they're considered,
Pervious.
right?
I'd like to help. The reason why they're doing that is for the longevity of it. It will also drain to the alley, so that we don't have drainage onto the properties on the side. They do have the option of making the parking gravel. But, one of the things with the gravel and stone, we'll get into the alley and start to eat at the top of the surface of our alley. I don't know when this one is scheduled to be redone with the service department. So
What about a brick?
they could do a brick. The other thing to remember is they have a substandard lot. It's not compliant with our current code.
And I understand that, I'm not being difficult, I'm just trying, I know as a civil engineer, Grandview does flood, so it's not just about, well, it's not flooding the neighbors, it's just you adding more water into the system that is already to capacity. My other question will be, I know you guys live there, I'm sure each one of you have a car, and you will be using that more often. Maybe the third one, so maybe you do 3 with the concrete, and the 4th one that might not be used as often, then that's the one that it's.
Well, we are certainly open to that. Charlie, I will want to say I am a big advocate for permeable surfaces. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you saw our courtyards. Our courtyards are intentionally gravel just to, help reduce runoff. I'm, again, big advocate for doing as much as we can to, be environmentally conscious on that stuff. So I think we really are open to that.
And they have those little pavers or like holes, and then it's like a hard
Yeah.
surface to drive on, but it's still grass or something like that, so that way you don't have that gravel into the thing. Again,
We
let's
appreciate
think a little bit more to see if we can minimize, if it's possible, because I do understand, we can't say, I want the 4 parking spots and then not allowing you to do it, but I
Mhm.
just, maybe we can meet halfway or something, just to
Yeah, there is, if you eliminate 2 of the spaces, you still need about 17 square feet of variance. If you make 2 of the spaces and make them pervious, they could do 2 as impervious. I don't know if that helps you.
just
Mark?
Actually, no further comments.
Looking on. I'll be last.
This might be just more about understanding the conditional use as the zoning was and what we want in the city, but, and it's related to you. I assume it transfers with the sale of the property, is that correct?
They have to renew this every year.
Okay, perfect. So then my next question is, I assume you'll be managing the Airbnb, so they've got a third-party manager. Okay, so
Great.
that was my concern, just making sure the person living next to it takes equal care of prior to
Yes.
managing the property. And then, related to the first comments on the parking space, impervious, pervious, I tend to lean more towards doing this concrete, but I don't think it really matters. I'm wondering if you have a position on that, whether it's better for your business model to have it all as concrete or to do the split.
I should probably check with my department. Do you have any thoughts on that? I will say one thing, we have a lot of children that ride bikes, and I do, there's a lot of gravel on that because it's kind of safe in our alley, and especially since COVID, everybody's home all the time, right? And I'm just thinking, ooh, how will that work for the kids on their bikes, and, you know, will they wipe out hitting a piece of gravel? But do you have any thoughts on it, David?
Yeah, David Mustine, like Leo said, we're very open to doing the right thing for the water management of the city, and so most of us have to explore maybe a combo of that.
And as far
But
as
from a
your-
safety, I guess the only thing I would say, obviously, we always want to be concerned about the safety of our guests, so they're coming in sometimes in the evening, we just want to make sure they get out of their cars and, you know, through our gate into the property. So that'd be the only other concern. We just want to make sure we have a good, safe surface for them. You know, maybe we could use the ones that aren't concrete and
Yeah,
let
so that-
let the guests use the concrete ones. So.
Or the paver would probably
Yeah.
be the solution too.
It sounds like the paver would be, like I said, less gravel to maintain.
Yeah.
And we would certainly be open to that, and as far as our business model and safety, I think pavers would meet that, our standard on the business model, safety, getting out of the car, making sure you've got a really nice stable surface, it's not muddy and icky, and, but yet, meet the, you know, runoff issue, address the runoff issues at least, right? So we really are open.
And then I guess I have one question. I don't know if it's said in this application, but what is your target generator stay? Are you just running it by night, or do you have minimum stays?
Great question, and there are a lot of different algorithms that, you know, work out, but I would say that ideal stay is, first of all, we do have a minimum. It would certainly be 2 nights. Generally, I think though, especially given labor issues and cleaning, although we do most of our cleaning ourselves, we're probably looking at 1 to 2 weeks is probably ideal. 1 month is wonderful as well. Definitely shy away from anything less than a week. That would be our preference.
No further questions.
We got back. I wasn't excited about the short-term rental concept initially, but when I thought about what type of short-term rental I want to have in Grandview, this is really the situation that I would want, you know, the owners living there and maintaining it. So I appreciate you know, what you're bringing in front of us. In regards to the variance for the parking, I would rather not have gravel, you know, getting into the alley and you know, like between the gutters in the alley. So I'm comfortable sort of leaving it in the applicant's hands as far as how they proceed with that.
I would make a recommendation for the applicant that they ask for a vote on it. And then if it doesn't pass, we can work on what we need to do.
I mean, that's all the comments I have. Councilman Panzera, do you have anything?
No, apologies for the late arrival. The application and the process is consistent with the legislation we created to adapt to the modern needs of short-term rental, and I have no objection to the application.
Mayor Gordon? Well, if there's any other comment from commission members, if not, your motion, and if you prefer, we can break it out into the 2 pieces. Or, you know, I definitely think the one relies on the other, right? Right, Travis? You gotta have the parking.
Yeah, but if they can have parking with just gravel. So you can, if you want to do the variance first, that would be fine.
motion, and since I was the one pushing for the, I'll just trust you, you do whatever you want, I just wanna put that in your minds and.
We really would love you to come and see our gravel patios. They are a nice offset. But yes, thank you, and we will be very conscientious of that.
So motion to approve PCK 07-2021, motion to approve short-term rental and a variance of the lot coverage from 40% to increase to 47%.
Point of order, just to correct, it's 08/2021. Sorry.
Oh, this is, oh, sorry.
You already
08.
We already approved that.
That's fair.
I second that motion.
Commissioner Kaszewski,
In favor?
Commissioner Rourke,
Yes.
Commissioner Wendell,
Yes.
Commissioner Kohler,
Yes.
Chairman Gentry.
Yes. Thank you, guys, you're good to go.
Thank you very much.
Continue to work with.
And I do, can I say one last thing?
Yep.
Awesome building department, Megan and Charlie. Charlie and Megan are just phenomenal to work with. We were thrilled to see the higher standards. We think it does help our model. We think it's good for the community. But it's achievable because you have folks helping hold our hand through the process, and we really appreciate that. Explaining how best to get where we need to be. So thank you, guys. Really appreciate it.
Appreciate that, we don't always hear that in.
Yeah. So, well, we appreciate all your time. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
See you around town. Any other communications?
I was wondering if there's any further discussion report on the drainage behind the parking lot off of Fairview that we talked about last meeting.
As far as I have personally seen, living there during rains and also heard from the engineer, is everything, and my neighbors, it's draining beautifully now. It's good, I mean, there's nothing formal.
It's been solved, is that what I heard you
I
say?
think it's resolved, yeah, they added an extra pipe so that they're picking up stuff temporarily until the bioswale materials are in.
Great.
Yeah.
Good.